there are about 9 million Kenyans who have ID cards but have not been registered as voters, and yet the Commission is targeting 6 million. Shouldn't you be going for more?
Of course, we are trying to be realistic as much as possible, given the dynamics of registration, mobilization, the state of preparations of the kit performance, and so forth. So we said, naturally, if you look at registration across the country, it's not mandatory, and some people may choose not to show up. So we think 6 million is reasonable and within reach for us to be able to get the numbers that we want.
And yet you're saying you're going to use about 8,000 BVR kits.
Right.
Are these sufficient given the numbers that you want to register?
Yeah, we think that we have adequate kits for this exercise, and the rationale is very simple. What we've done is we've ensured that the smallest county assembly ward gets 3 kits, which will end up being 1 kit in 1 registration center for 30 days. The large county assembly wards, like wards within North Horr, they are going to get 10 kits, and each kit will be taking 10 days. Then we've also decided to open up the kits to ensure that wherever you will be within the constituency, you can actually register to vote in any county assembly ward. So that flexibility allows for many people to actually turn out to register.
And overall, what determined the allocation of the kits? Are you still looking at population and the geographical area?
It was a mix of both. If you remember that the way we crafted our county assembly wards was based on population and geography. But the most significant impact was from the distance to be covered by a person who is seeking to be registered. We do not want to have a person to take, to cover 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers to go find a registration kit. So we are saying that the smaller, geographically small county assembly wards will have fewer kits, and that means they can still register so many people because they're within areas that are with very high population density. In larger wards, it might take someone actually a full day to reach 1 kit. So we're trying to reduce that time by giving them a little more kits. Okay.
There's been concern around the mass transfer of votes at the behest of politicians to tilt the scales. Is that something that concerns IEBC?
Of course, we observed that during the first mass voter registration exercise, where we got about 700,000 transferring. In some places we had more transfers than people who we actually registered. So what we've done this time around in order to manage that is to also ensure that our registration offices, our constituency offices, are ready to receive these applications. There's not going to be any transfers taking place at the ward level. So we're asking all people seeking to transfer to go make that a particular application to the registration officer at the constituency level, and we have a clerk who will be processing those particular transfers.
So what are you doing to ensure you get as many people as possible turning out to register, and you don't have this usual Kenyan scenario where when it comes to day about 25 or 30 is when people are starting to turn up?
Right. I mean, this is going to be an effort by everyone. Every Kenyan who has an interest in the election must actually demonstrate their need to ensure that eligible Kenyans are actually registered. So we have an enhanced media campaign around this matter. We're going to reach out to Kenyans to encourage them to turn out to register in good time. And we just want to also assure them that we are available all throughout, except that if you show up on the last day, there's going to be a lot of pressure, and with the possibility that we may not be able to register you because of a huge number of people showing up. So given that we're also not going to have any other registration after 14th of February, it's important that people pay attention to this exercise, take time off and go register as voters. So
let's get some clarifications. If one registered in 2012, do they need to register fresh?
No. If you registered between 2012 and 2016, you don't need to register afresh. We are only targeting people who did not register during 2012, 2016, and any other person who after 2016 has been able to get an ID card and they're willing to register as voters.
All right. And what if I misplaced my voter's card, the little document you're given?
Well, our registration system is based on biometric capturing of your fingerprints, so that when you show up at the polling station, you actually we take your fingerprints, And the card that you have is just for your own comfort, that you actually registered as a voter. But for us, we'll be concerned about your biometric identification on the voting day.
So you don't need that card?
You really don't need that card on the voting day. You just need your ID and showing up by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens to those who have registered in the between 2012 and now, but want to change their polling station, constituency, or any other detail, in fact?
Yeah, we have officers advice on what to do, but important is that you must go to the registration officer responsible for that assignment in the place you want to go vote in the next election. That's where you go to make the application. Where you want to transfer to.
Okay.
Yes.
And how can one confirm their voter details?
Now, what we've done now, there are 3 levels. At the moment, by end of this next week, we're going to avail all the data on the website for people to be able to confirm actually that they are registered voters or not. Then we're also going to activate the SMS platform. It's been doing rounds, but it was on a pilot basis. So we've been able to make some amendments on that. So we're going to have many people confirming their details then. However, Kenyans should also know that the law requires us to open the register 90 days before the election. So that means we're going to have a period of 30 days from May 10th where voters will be required to turn out at the polling stations to confirm their registration details. And they actually require us to avail the BVR kit to ensure that people confirm that their biometrics have been captured. So that time is going to come.
And so can you give us the website and SMS details? Yes,
our website now, we're talking about www.iebc.or.ke, and the SMS is 22446, I think. Yeah. 2246.
Okay, we need to be sure of that.
224664. If I'm not wrong, but it'll be up and running tomorrow. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get somebody to confirm that for us before I read out that detail again. But at least the website is iebc.or.ke. And when does the voter register close?
Voter registration closes on the 14th of February.
The register.
In terms of
you can't make any other changes.
Our target is to have the 30 days before the election, the register to be certified and published and be made available to any Kenyan who is interested to